The question of a woman's status and the issue of equal rights for women are relevant to every culture and society on the globe. The world's confusion over the place and worth of women manifests itself in a variety of ways. In developed nations, while women have gained access to new professional avenues, they still grapple with unequal pay and limited career progression compared to their male counterparts. Despite juggling careers alongside familial responsibilities, women often find themselves disproportionately burdened with childcare and domestic chores, leading to exhaustion and disillusionment. At a personal level, shifting gender dynamics have sparked misunderstandings and conflicts, contributing to unstable relationships. Today's women face the intricate task of balancing familial duties with career aspirations, navigating job competition, and coping with emotional upheavals stemming from societal changes. Some women are confused about what a woman should be and how she should conduct herself because they're not sure what a woman is supposed to be responsible for anymore. What is compounding these issues is that cultures around the world have their own ideas about a woman's identity and role, and these ideas are varied and contradictory. In many Western societies, women are encouraged to pursue careers while also shouldering traditional familial responsibilities as wives and mothers. Conversely, in numerous developing nations, entrenched cultural norms continue to diminish the status and dignity of women, relegating them to roles akin to domestic servants or worse, to the status of slaves. Such women face heightened vulnerability to various forms of abuse, poverty, illness, and even mortality. A poignant illustration of this plight is evident in Afghanistan, where women are systematically deprived of fundamental rights, including access to health care, education, employment opportunities, and personal freedoms. As I traverse the globe, I witness firsthand the multitude of challenges confronting women across continents. Whether in Europe, Africa, South America, the Caribbean, Antarctica, Asia, Australia, or North America, women grapple with an array of dilemmas. While natural disasters and conflicts exacerbate these issues for both genders, there's a pervasive failure to address the root cause of the unique challenges faced by women worldwide. Whether it's the North American woman balancing career and family, the Afghan woman denied basic human rights, or the young girl in Kenya grappling with AIDS, they all confront different facets of a shared dilemma. These varied problems are but manifestations of an underlying issue. This book's central focus lies in unraveling and tackling this fundamental problem. So what indeed is at the core of this issue? The crux of the issue can be succinctly stated as follows. Across cultures and traditions, essential truths about the inherent nature of women and men have been obscured. Instead, distorted perceptions of women and male-female dynamics have taken root, perpetuated through societal norms and traditions. Because of these lost truths, women and men alike do not understand a woman's nature, potential, role, and unique contribution to the world. This misunderstanding has led to women being marginalized, hindered from realizing their full potential, and subjected to various forms of abuse. The resulting pain, suffering, trauma, and physical danger inflicted upon women are undeniably tragic. There has been a terrible waste of life and potential over hundreds and thousands of years. This waste has been catastrophic not only for women, but also for men and human society as a whole. This is why so many past efforts on behalf of women have fallen short of success. The case of Afghanistan, where progress in recognizing women's value can swiftly regress, serves as a poignant example. Mere insistence on treating women with respect seems insufficient in altering deeply ingrained misconceptions about gender among both men and women. It's evident that there's a pervasive lack of understanding regarding the true essence of womanhood. Wherever this gap persists, women continue to face misuse and abuse. Therefore, we not only need to affirm the worth of women, but we also need to lay new groundwork for understanding who a woman is and how she should be viewed and treated. We must transcend tradition and recapture principles that can free women to be fulfilled and valued, regardless of their nationality or geographic location. The temptation for women who are being devalued by men in a specific instance or through societal discrimination is to want to dismiss men altogether or treat them in an adversarial way. However, such a response overlooks the inherent harmony intended between women and men and their complementary roles. The end result of such an approach would be damaging to a woman's potential and advancement, and real progress would not be accomplished. In the mid-1960s, James Brown came out with a song that exposed the spirit of the age, entitled "It's a Man's World." The song sold 1 million copies. I wonder who bought it? James Brown was singing about an attitude that pervades the nations and cultures of the world. That attitude is, in effect, even though women are here, this world was made for men. It's designed for males. Women are just filling in where needed. You women stay in your place. This is a man's world. Does the world belong to men? If so, what place do women hold in it? One of the most contentious issues of our modern era, a topic steeped in heated debate and dissent, is the discussion surrounding the role, status, and rights of women. Throughout history, across nearly every nation and culture, women have been systematically relegated to a position deemed inferior to men, occupying a secondary place in society. Traditional perceptions of women persist to this day, where they are often viewed as inferior beings compared to men, relegated to the status of second-class citizens, mere objects existing solely for the gratification of male desires, portrayed as weak and devoid of real strength, unfairly deemed lacking in intelligence, their potential contributions to society dismissed, viewed as possessions of men, akin to livestock, relegated to roles as personal servants, expected only to fulfill the needs of their masters, treated as domestic slaves, subject to exploitation at will, regarded as disposable objects, passed around until deemed no longer useful, then discarded, and shockingly even deemed subhuman, deserving of mistreatment and abuse. Depending on where you live in the world, your past experiences, and whether you are a woman or a man, the items on this list might shock you, offend you, be discounted by you, or serve as a painful reminder of what you are currently enduring. If you reside in an industrialized nation where significant strides have been made in elevating the status of women and expanding their opportunities, you might believe that these negative perceptions of women no longer hold relevance in your society's interactions between genders. However, these underlying assumptions persist across nations because they are deeply rooted in the attitudes of individuals rather than solely influenced by legislative or societal changes. Women continue to face misunderstanding and degradation globally, resulting in emotional, physical, and spiritual distress. For thousands of years, across diverse cultures and traditions worldwide, women have endured a pervasive devaluation, leading to various forms of mistreatment. What lies at the root of this prevailing outlook? Why does this problem transcend geographical and cultural boundaries, becoming almost universal in its reach? The widespread prevalence of women's devaluation suggests a deeper underlying cause that extends beyond mere cultural norms or traditions. The challenge in addressing the plight of women stems from the difficulty in shifting men's perceptions of women's roles in society. The notion of a male-dominated world is deeply ingrained, making it resistant to change. Even with legislative measures or policy shifts, altering entrenched mindsets proves to be an arduous task. This internalized devaluation of women persists across societies, perpetuating their marginalization and exploitation despite some strides in social and political arenas. In the neighborhood where I grew up, it was commonplace to hear men asserting, "Woman, do you know who I am? I'm the one who wears the pants around here." This declaration was meant to assert dominance and control. But in today's world, where both men and women wear pants, who does that statement refer to now? His spirit of male dominance, this attitude of stay in your place. You have no say in this. You have no contribution to make. You have no sense anyway, has pervaded our societies for thousands of years, and it is a spirit that still has a hold on many nations. The prevailing attitude you described underscores why the social and political strides of women, though appearing as victories on the surface, can often feel like burdens. These advancements, while aimed at asserting equality, often result in one-sided victories. Take, for instance, the declaration of women's equality with men and society's efforts to enforce this equality. However, the deeply ingrained attitudes of men and even some women may not align with this shift in status. Thus, much confusion about the role of the woman still exists today. You can't easily change a man's mindset. Only in the relatively recent past, particularly in industrialized nations, voices have risen to challenge the devaluation of women. This dissent has materialized through various women's movements, such as the 19th and early 20th century women's suffrage movement. It's easy to overlook that the right to vote for women is a relatively recent development in many countries. We're not discussing events from centuries past. Rather, we're reflecting on changes that occurred as recently as 80 years ago, even in a country like America. It's only in recent times that certain nations have recognized women as valuable and significant contributors to the fabric of society. In the last 40 years or so, a spirited movement has emerged among women in America and parts of Europe, including countries like England, Sweden, and Norway. This movement stands in stark contrast to prevailing attitudes, boldly proclaiming, "We are equals to men. There is no distinction between us." In America, this spirit has been encapsulated in the phrase equal rights. The equal rights movement gained momentum in the 1960s, initially sharing common goals with the civil rights movement. Fueled by the spirit captured in James Brown's song, challenging the notion of a man's world, thousands of women marched in front of the White House in Washington, D.C. They held big banners and placards and shouted in the streets. Joseph is a good example of a person who displayed his rights in the way in which he thought and lived. His story is told in the book of Genesis. Joseph was falsely accused and put in jail. Yet he said to himself, "I'm not a prisoner." And he was soon put in charge of the whole prison. See Genesis 39. It's all about attitude. The Romans had Jesus bound in chains. But Jesus told Pilate, in essence, "I'm not bound. You're the one who is bound." Pilate said, "Don't you know who I am?" Jesus answered, "I know who you are. You're a fool. You're being totally manipulated by history and prophecy. You can't kill me. I don't give you the right to have the power to kill me. No man takes my life. I am a free man." See John 19:1-16. There are people in jail right now who are spiritually free, and there are people who have never been near a jail who only seem to be free. Inwardly, they are bound. When making demands, it's crucial to tread carefully, as our words may inadvertently imply surrendering our inherent rights. Consider this. When women demand equality from men, are they unconsciously suggesting that men hold the power to grant them equality? This implication is perilous. By convincing someone that they possess the authority to bestow wholeness upon another, a dangerous dynamic is established. It opens the door to manipulation and gamesmanship, where freedoms are selectively granted to maintain control while others are withheld. Many individuals advocating for equality may unwittingly be acknowledging relinquishing their own rights to another's discretion. Even so, countries like America and Sweden have recently taken significant legislative steps to elevate the status of women, resulting in tangible societal shifts. Following arduous struggles, women, once relegated to roles as mere baby bearers, property, or servant slaves, are now actively participating in civic and political spheres to a greater extent. Their contributions are gradually gaining recognition. Many women now engage in opportunities and pursuits previously reserved for men, including leadership, management, and sports, signaling a promising shift towards gender equality. Women have not been allowed to develop their full potential. While there has been some progress, the unfortunate reality is that in most societies, women continue to face the prejudice and bias of their male counterparts, leading to their ongoing degradation. Legislation alone cannot change the hearts of men. Society is still grappling with and adapting to the legislative and societal changes enacted over recent decades. Thus, even if the law proclaims equality between men and women, it does not necessarily reflect men's beliefs. Consequently, women remain subjected to confusion, mistreatment, and abuse, experiencing frustration and manipulation. The persistent devaluation of women acts as a barrier to progress, preventing them from being treated in accordance with the original intent of their creation. This depreciation of women is preventing them from living in the fullness of what God created them to be. There have been some notable examples of women throughout history who have been able to accomplish great things, display exceptional work and talent, and contribute much to society. Yet the majority of women have not been allowed to develop their unique personalities and gifts fully so that they may enrich their own lives, their families, their churches, their communities, and the world. Therefore, the significant challenge we confront is that even governmental interventions, despite legislative efforts and some encouraging social shifts, fall short of addressing the pervasive devaluation of women. Can negative ideas about women be changed? Can we shift the world's negative perceptions of women? What lies at the root of the universal devaluation of women that persists across centuries and cultures worldwide? Why do men and women sometimes struggle to comprehend each other and collaborate harmoniously? While culture and tradition play a role, they cannot shoulder the entire blame, as this issue transcends ages and cultures, suggesting a fundamental discord or adversarial dynamic between men and women. So, what lies at the heart of this enduring dilemma? It's the loss of our understanding of what it truly means to be human, to be male and female. Somewhere along the way, we've discarded or forgotten the essence of our humanity, replacing it with distorted views of ourselves. Culture and tradition have played a part in perpetuating these distortions, further complicating the issue. Women, as well as men, need to understand the inherent nature of the woman, because most women have developed their identity from men, and they do not see themselves as God does. Women have shaped their identity based on societal norms and expectations, rather than seeing themselves through the lens of how God views them. Many women have essentially become products of the cultures and traditions in which they were raised. As a woman, you might find yourself at odds with who you are, but it's important to recognize that your self-concept likely stems from the environment in which you were nurtured. If nations across the globe truly understood God's intentions for women and men, they would recognize that the spirit of demanding equal rights from men was never part of God's plan. From the very beginning, men and women were created equal by God Himself. This equality is not subject to the decisions of a Senate, Congress, Cabinet, or Parliament. It was established by God in the act of creation. Entrusting others to define your worth means surrendering your rights to them, with potential consequences. Never allow anyone to dictate your human value or determine the extent of your personhood. True equality is inherent, and once you grasp its essence and how it should manifest in your life, you can embrace it fully, regardless of others' perceptions. There's an important aspect we must carefully consider, as it lies at the heart of the current misunderstandings between women and men. Many proponents of equal rights argue that there's no distinction whatsoever between women and men. However, while women and men were indeed created equal, they were also designed to be different, each with their unique traits and characteristics. This fact may perplex some and incite anger in others, as society has ingrained the belief that being different equates to being inferior. Indeed, many societies have propagated the false notion that women, due to their distinct physical and emotional makeup, are somehow inferior to men. Conversely, a few women have adopted the viewpoint that men are inferior simply because they differ from women. Both perspectives fail to recognize, appreciate, and celebrate the complementary differences between women and men. In many spheres of life, we recognize differences not as weaknesses, but as mutual strengths. In music, in a full symphony orchestra, is the violin player more important than the oboe player? Both contribute to the harmony of the ensemble. Likewise, in sports, who is more crucial in a medley relay, the breaststroke swimmer or the backstroke swimmer? Each must excel in their specific specialty for the relay to succeed. The solution to the long-standing devaluation of women doesn't lie in denying the differences between females and males, but rather in acknowledging and embracing their complementary differences. The challenge lies in understanding and accepting these differences so they can be utilized harmoniously. When we don't understand and appreciate our God-given differences, we will inevitably have conflict. If the female doesn't understand why she is the way she is, and the male doesn't understand why he is the way he is, then three kinds of conflicts will occur. Women won't be able to successfully get along with other women. Men won't be able to successfully get along with other men. And women and men won't be able to successfully get along with each other. Many people approach marriage in the same way they buy a car. The misunderstanding and disharmony between women and men often manifest in the way many individuals approach marriage today. Sadly, most people enter into marriage ill-prepared for the journey ahead. They approach it with the same mindset as purchasing a car. When buying a car, what do? You visit different dealerships, compare models and features, make your choice, sign the paperwork, and then drive off with your new car. Similarly, getting married can feel like a simple transaction. You browse through potential partners, find someone you like, go through the ceremony with a minister or justice of the peace, receive your marriage certificate, and then start your life together. At first, everything seems effortless. Bringing home a new car, parking it in the garage, and admiring its pristine condition poses no challenge. Driving with the full tank of gas provided by the dealership is a breeze. Similarly, marrying a spouse, crossing the threshold, and embarking on the honeymoon phase are all smooth sailing. Basking in the blissful honeymoon feelings is enjoyable for a while. However, buying a car is one thing. Operating and maintaining it is something else. Likewise, getting married is one thing, while maintaining and growing in the relationship is another. A car is intended to be a benefit, assisting you in meeting your transportation needs. However, it's crucial to understand the car's requirements, because there will come a time when the gas tank needs refilling, when an oil change is necessary, or when repairs are needed. If you're unaware of the car's needs, you might find yourself frustrated, wondering, what's wrong with this car? It's been running fine for weeks. While you're expressing frustration, the car is simply waiting to serve you. But it can't do so effectively if you're not attending to its needs. Suppose you then say to yourself, well, when I get thirsty, I drink water, so the car must need water. I'm going to fill the gas tank with water. So you fill up the gas tank with water. But soon enough, You realize your mistake. The water has damaged the car's system, and now it won't run at all. Frustrated, you ask the car, "When I drink water, I feel refreshed. Why can't you work?" It's a simple truth. Your needs aren't the same as your car's needs. When you want something to function correctly, don't impose your needs on it. Instead, take the time to understand what it needs and then provide accordingly. Only then will it serve you effectively. In the realm of relationships between men and women, it's as if we've been pouring water into the gas tank. We've been attempting to function without truly understanding or addressing each other's unique needs. Operating solely on our own needs has led to many relationships hitting a roadblock. This lack of understanding has fueled centuries of misunderstanding and conflict between men and women. We often make the mistake of assuming that what satisfies a man will equally satisfy a woman, and vice versa. However, the reality is quite different. The distinctions between their needs are striking. Imagine offering a plate of ribs, someone's favorite dish, to a plant. Despite our love for ribs, the plant cannot absorb or benefit from them. To nurture plants, we must provide them with suitable nutrients, water, and sunlight. Similarly, in understanding relationships between men and women, we must recognize and cater to their distinct needs. While there are shared traits, each gender has its own unique design and requirements. It's essential to grasp the purpose behind these differences in order to foster fulfilling relationships. Otherwise, we'll continually encounter frustration in our interactions. Moreover, as governance across the world has predominantly been male-dominated, societal structures have often prioritized addressing the needs of men over those of women to effectively tackle the challenges faced by women and the inherent conflicts between genders. It becomes imperative to delve into understanding, appreciating, and valuing the unique design of women. It is crucial for everyone to grasp the essence of femininity, recognizing women as beings created in the image of God, and understanding their dynamic relationship with men. This insight is relevant not only to those in marital unions, but also to individuals across diverse circumstances. Whether one is married or single, male or female, young or old, interactions with women are ubiquitous in familial, professional, religious, governmental, and various other spheres of life. Without a grasp of a woman's intrinsic design, one may struggle to engage with her authentically and productively within these domains. Of course, comprehending the inherent nature of both women and men is pivotal for fostering a thriving marital relationship. By delving into the essence of femininity and masculinity, individuals can skillfully navigate their interactions with others, particularly within the context of marriage. For those presently unmarried, acquiring insights into their own identity and understanding the intricacies of the opposite sex's design and operation lays a solid foundation for future marital success. Armed with this knowledge, potential conflicts stemming from ignorance about the purpose and worth of both genders can be preemptively addressed and mitigated within the marital union. Nobody knows how something is supposed to function better than its maker. I propose that the most effective approach to advancing the relationship between men and women is to revisit the origins, to discern the Creator's original intentions and desires when fashioning humanity. Embracing our fundamental design and inherent characteristics is the key to fostering enduring, positive transformations in the dynamics of interactions between men and women across all spheres of life. I'm persuaded that understanding and living in God's original purpose is crucial to restoring right relationships between men and women. Proverbs 19:21 summarizes this idea well. Many are the plans in a man's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose that prevails. God is a God of purpose, and everything that He made in this life, including men and women, has a purpose. We can fight against His purpose, but if we do, we will be unfulfilled and frustrated. He made us the way we are for His purposes and for our benefit. The nature of the woman must be understood in light of her purpose, and her needs must be understood in light of her nature. Without this understanding, she will find herself unable to fulfill the very reason for her existence. The paramount revelation about ourselves and others lies in uncovering the purpose of our existence. Tragically, when men and women fail to understand each other, it inevitably leads to abuse, stemming from this lack of clarity regarding purpose. We've endured enough of such suffering. What is a woman's place? The controversy over the role, position, and rights of women throughout history has often revolved around two seemingly conflicting perspectives. A woman's place is in the home versus a woman's place is in the world, in business, education, and government. Yet both of these viewpoints fail to grasp the true essence of a woman's purpose and design. Ultimately, where does a woman's place lie? A woman's place resides, first and foremost, in God. And the same holds true for a man. It rests in the manner He fashioned her, in the immense value He bestows upon her, and in the purposes He has ordained for her. Only by comprehending the significance of this truth can we hope to reconcile the controversies and conflicts surrounding the role of women in society. And this is 10 principles. Number 1, if you have to ask somebody for your rights, you are admitting that he or she has ownership of them. 2, a woman's position and rights are God-given and inherent. Number 3, culture and tradition have passed along distorted views of humanity. Number 4, the essential nature of women and men has been forgotten by the world. Number 5, the way to make progress is to go back to God's original intent in creation. Number 6, the devaluing of women is preventing them from living in the fullness of God's purposes for them. Number 7, most women have obtained their identities from man rather than from God. Number 8, the nature of something determines its function and needs. And number 9, the purpose of something determines its nature or design. Lastly, a woman's place is in God.